Hey there, it's Jody Sutter of the Sutter Company, and it's Just Ask Jody. It's that time when I take a question from an agency about an issue that they're having with business development, and I'll answer that question in 4 minutes or less. And this time the question is, how much should we prepare before contacting cold prospects? Well, first of all, I hate that idea of cold prospecting or cold calling. You should never be making a cold call, or you should never be making cold outreach. Just by doing that research, you're actually moving that prospect along the continuum from cold to warm, because by doing that research, you're starting to qualify them. So how much should you do? How much research, how much preparation should you do? Well, you should do as much as necessary. And what do I mean by that? I think that there comes a point when research and preparation reaches that point of diminishing returns. And you want to be able to, so you want to be prepared, and yet you also want to be able to move on to the next prospect. This is a numbers game. So the more time you spend researching one prospect or one company, the less time you're going to have to try to reach others. What do you want to do to prepare? Obviously, you want to focus on the basics. You want to know the basic information about that company that you're reaching, their business model, their mission, their vision. Ideally, you want to be familiar with the work that they're already doing in the area where your expertise lies. So for instance, if you're a digital marketing agency, you want to have a pretty good idea of what they're already doing in the areas of digital marketing, and ideally where they're falling short. You want to know a little bit about the people that you are contacting, their roles and responsibilities. You know, a lot of times what you can do is you can read a lot between the lines when you look at the individuals and their marketing roles, how they might relate to each other. Sometimes it'll tell you a lot about how much marketing is valued in that organization. It can also tell you a little bit about where they put the emphasis, what areas of discipline around marketing that are most important to them. And you also want to look for major headlines. You want to make sure that you're not pitching a company that maybe is just filed for bankruptcy. They may not be the best qualified lead for you. But like I said, you want to do just enough. You want to make sure that you're not hiding in the safety of that research. And I give you that advice from personal experience. That is something that I used to do all the time. It's a tendency that I have to fight against. I want to be able to go in with a strong pitch based on an unforgettable and unignorable hook. The problem is that those are really hard to find. It becomes a little bit like finding a needle in a haystack. And again, what I'm saying to you here is that I don't want you to sacrifice the opportunity to reach a larger group of prospects because you want to go in, zero in on that one with a really perfect pitch. This all becomes easier, by the way, when you're really strategic about the niche that you're pitching. And I feel like I just said this in another video recently. There's a lot of advantages about pitching within a niche where you have a lot of experience. And why is that? Well, that's because you're able then to draw upon your conclusions, upon your solutions, upon the insight that you have based on work for similar clients. You can then apply that experience across a range of different companies. Now, you may be making some assumptions when you make your pitch, but those assumptions are intelligent assumptions. They're based on your experience. And if you're pitching clients that have shared qualities, that have shared challenges, then I bet that those assumptions are going to be correct. So the faster you can go from research to outreach, the better. You want to be prepared, but you also want to make sure that you're not sacrificing the ability to contact as many people as possible, because it is a numbers game after all. You want to get numbers in your favor, but it's always going to be a bit of a numbers game. So that's it for this Just Ask Jody. If you've got a question you'd like me to feature on another Just Ask Jody, you can email it to me at jody@thesuttercompany.com. See you next time.